ready? All right. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to week 5 here on Sun Knows Best.
Crazy. We're already 5 weeks in.
I know. Last weekend of football in the month of September. Conference play is starting. I know we've had a few conference games so far, but Eli, you sit at 12-8 against the spread, and you had a really good week this past week with blind draws, 4 out of 5. You sit at 40 points right now. What are you feeling like? 12-8, that's a really good record against the spread.
I feel very good, but not good enough because I'm still down by 2 points, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm 14-6 against the spread, and it's a long season. We still have all the way until January 20th to go, and then we will conclude with some NFL playoffs as well in the Super Bowl. But Eli, we are both over 500 against the spread, and we're doing really, really good on our blind draws as well. Remember, folks, if you're new to this, we go against the spread for 5 games. You get a point for each one of those. Then we go into blind draw. Those are 5 of those as well. We don't know what those are until we get on the screen and talk to you about football. Those are worth 2 points each if you get those right. So, really tight race as we close out September, and then we kick it off into October next week. But we have some pretty decent games this week on the slate, and we're actually going to go, Eli, we're going to go up the schedule. So we're going to start with the bottom game and go up and finish with the big one. All right? But we have several ranked versus ranked matchups that we're going to talk to you here tonight. Eli's going to provide the insight. I'm just going to provide my pick. He's doing the writing. So spend about the next 15 or 20 minutes with us, and we will get you set for week 5 of college football. Let's start off with our first game. Louisville travels to Notre Dame. Touchdown Jesus in the background. Both of these teams are ranked. Louisville is undefeated. Notre Dame's obviously got that one loss to Northern Illinois, who lost last week, Eli, to a MAC school. Notre Dame is, yes, that is correct. Yep, so they lost to one of their conference opponents. Notre Dame is a 4-point favorite at home Saturday afternoon in the shadows of Touchdown Jesus. Eli, who you going with here?
I'm gonna go Notre Dame. I think that Notre Dame honestly struggles at home more than they do on the road.
Yeah.
Right, they went into Texas A&M this year and beat a pretty decent Texas A&M team.
Yeah.
And Louisville's strength of schedule doesn't look that good. They beat Austin Peay, Jacksonville State, and Georgia Tech. I know Notre Dame lost to Northern Illinois, but Northern Illinois looked pretty good that game, and I think that was just an off day for Notre Dame. 4 points is really close for a home game. I think that they could. I think they could get the 4 points just off of being at home. And so I'm gonna ride with Louisville or Notre Dame.
Okay. Well, the old saying, Eli, with picks is that if you're the home team, you get 3 points for being the home team. So that true spread is 1 point.
Yeah.
So give me.
This game will be very close.
I think it will be a close game. Give me Louisville. I like what Brian Brom's doing there. They beat Notre Dame in the Bluegrass last year. I think Notre Dame's going to be out for some revenge, but I think Brian Brom might be coaching a little bit better than Marcus Freeman right now, and Marcus Freeman still has to be able to show that he can win big games. I know he beat Texas A&M on the road earlier this year, but if you go back and look at a lot of his losses, they are at home to opponents that they are favored against. So give me Louisville, and I think it's going to be a low-scoring game as well. I think it's going to be in the high teens or low 20s as well. So next, we have 2 teams, Eli, that had high expectations coming into this season. They both suffered a loss last week in conference play, and all right, he's already written his pick down, folks, so I'm curious to hear what he's thinking here. But both of these teams lost last week, so one of these is going to go out of here with a loss, and they're going to have 2 losses heading into October. So
that could knock either of the teams out of the top 25.
Yeah, and even the playoff potential because there's still a whole slate of games left. Number 20, Oklahoma State at number 23, Kansas State. Kansas State is a 5.5-point favorite. Eli, you wrote your pick down early. Give me some insight.
I got Oklahoma State. I think this is going to be honestly even closer than the Louisville game. These are two very even teams. I mean, ESPN has the matchup predictor at 52% to 47%. So they are kind of splitting it up.
Okay.
Kansas State lost to BYU pretty badly. Now, it is honestly, it's a pretty tough place to go in, BYU, but they also didn't play well against Tulane. They did play well against Arizona. I feel like that's why everybody's kind of on this hype train and with Avery Johnson. I personally do not like Avery Johnson, and I love Ollie Gordon, so I got Oklahoma State.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm going to go opposite of you again here. I think Kansas State at home, I think they react really well to that beatdown. I think they went in a little hot-headed last week at BYU, and BYU just took it to them. I think they come back focused. It is going to be a close game, but it's under a touchdown. Give me Kansas State to pull off the victory, and I'm going to lay those points against the Pokes there. So Avery Johnson is going to have a day. I think it could be one of those high-scoring games. You saw what Arkansas did. I know they lost to Oklahoma State a few weeks ago, but you saw what Arkansas did with a mobile quarterback. I think Avery Johnson has that similar type of day as well. And Mike Gundy has 2 losses going into October. All right, let's move to probably a game that if you looked in the beginning of the season, you were probably like, okay, both teams will probably have a loss here or there. There's only one loss between these two teams. Washington State travels to Boise. They travel to Idaho, take the quick trip across eastern Washington, western Idaho to Boise and battle the Broncos, who, even though Washington State is undefeated, the Broncos are a 7-point favorite at home on the Smurf turf. Eli, who you going with? I know who your favorite player is. Yeah. Who you going with here?
I'm going Boise State. Boise State is one of my, they have a chance to get that 12 seed bid for the playoff.
Yep, the group of 5.
The group of 5 bid.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, look at these stats. Ashton GNC is one of the leaders for touchdowns in the whole country.
And yards.
And yards, yeah. Washington State struggled and barely beat San Jose State in double overtime last week. Boise State actually played really well against that Oregon team.
Yeah.
Who's top 10 in the country, and I mean, I think Boise State will. I think they'll pull away. I mean, it's at the Smurf turf. I think it's a very hard place to go win.
I'm not going to ask you this question right now because it may be in the blind draw, and I don't want to ruin it. But I will remind me to ask you a question before we get off the air. On this game. Okay. Give me, if you're giving me 7 points for Washington State on the road, they are a really good football team. And I may be eating my crow come late Saturday night, early Sunday morning, but give me the Palouse, the Wazoo Palouse to cover that 7 points. Boise might win the game, and not to take anything away from the Broncos, but give me Washington State. That San Jose State team, you can't look at that logo and think about it. This is not your grandma's San Jose State team that used to be the cupcake of everybody. That San Jose State team is really, really good. And Washington State had a battle with them last week, and I think they step up and respond. And I'm not going to call it an outright win, but I am going to call it a cover. Give me the Cougs.
We pick different in
every game so far. Yep, this could be a really, really rough weekend for either one of us. So Illinois travels to Penn State. Illinois coming off of that huge win against Nebraska on the road. Penn State hosting the Illini and their coach Bert Bielema and big old Bert and his just ground and pound offense that he had at Wisconsin. He tried to run it at Arkansas, did not work out for him. I got a connection to this game. One of the guys I played high school baseball with and know really well, Justin Stepp, is a coach at Illinois. So I'm going to be watching this one intently this weekend. Penn State is a 17.5-point favorite. Eli, I know you're looking at the stats right now and the splits and everything. Can Penn State cover that many points? And he's already written his pick down, and I can't wait to see what it is.
I got Illinois. I personally, and I know I say this a lot about other teams, and it hurts me to say this as a Michigan State fan, but I love this Illinois team. I don't know what it is about it, but I love this Illinois team. It's going to be a very, very, very hard place to go in. It might be the whiteout. I don't really know.
No, it's not. They're playing. I checked.
Okay.
They're playing Washington for the whiteout later.
But
this
it's
year.
still a night game. It's still a night game. That's still going to be a very, very hard environment to go in. I think if you shut up the crowd early, get a touchdown and a 3-and-out, then you just get into your offense. I think that's the best way to do it. And then if you contain Nick Singleton.
Which I think they can.
I think they can. I think this Illinois team is very good. They beat Nebraska, who Nebraska was looking like they could possibly be something this year. They beat a Kansas team that's supposed to be something this year as well. Penn State, they struggled with West Virginia in the first half.
They struggled with Bowling Green. Which Bowling Green gave Texas A&M a good run for their money.
Bowling Green is going to be one of those contenders for the MAC championship this year, I think. But I got Illinois. I think Illinois, if they win this game, that's going to be huge. Knocking off a top 10 opponent, move into that 2-0 and then 5-0 overall. ESPN doesn't like that at all. They have Illinois
86%
as a 13% chance to win.
Yeah.
I think
that's a lot of points, though.
I think the Illini are going to go into Beaver Stadium and shock some people. Man.
It is going to be loud. It is not the whiteout. But Eli, let me take you back 3 years, okay? And I know you're looking at my screen right now.
Yeah,
let me take you back 3 years. These two teams played 9 overtimes, and that's even with the new overtime rules where you have to go for 2, starting with the third overtime. One game they went 9 overtimes.
And the score is only 20-18.
20-18. It was a defensive struggle all day. I think that's what it's going to be this week as well. You have the over/under there.
Yes,
what is it?
The over/under is 47.5.
Woo, 47.5. So you're looking at with a 17-point spread. You're looking at like 30 to 7 or 30 to 13 or 33-13, something like that.
That's not even like the lowest over/under we have this entire.
Oh, week. I know. I would hit the over or the under on that.
Also, the spread moved to 19 on here.
Yeah, we lock in.
17.5.
Yeah, so a lot of people are pushing money to Penn State.
You can get into this game for 36.
That was a huge win for them on the road last Friday, but that is key. They had an extra day of rest, and Bielema has these boys playing really good, and Luke Altmaier, who's the quarterback. Eli, read his stats real quick. How many yards does he have over there?
862 yards, which is 60 so more than Drew Aller.
Yep, and how many touchdowns?
And he has 2 more touchdowns with 0 interceptions.
Now, and that is going to be the key Saturday night.
They have played Eastern Illinois and Central Michigan.
I understand. But Penn State's played some cupcakes too.
They've also still played Nebraska and Kansas, who you can
now Kansas
is Penn State is better strength of schedule.
Yeah, give me this one. We're gonna pick the same. Give me the Illini.
Is Penn State coming off of a bye week?
No, they played. Kent State.
They beat them.
Basically a bye week.
Bro, Kent State is struggling.
The way Kent State's struggling. All right, give me the Illini. I don't think they win outright, but I do think they win the game. All right, let's move to the last one here. We have Georgia at Alabama. The game of the year so far in college football. Number 2 travels to number 4. First game for Kirby Smart post Nick Saban. Let's see how nervous he is. Let's see if the team plays just like him. Eli, Georgia's a 1.5-point favorite. Who you got in this game? He's thinking, folks. He hadn't written his pick down yet.
1.5?
1.5 points. Yeah.
I'm gonna go Alabama.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Bama. It's Jalen Milroe season. I love Jalen Milroe. I think if
you don't think Georgia can contain him?
I don't think they can. I don't think they can contain Ryan Williams either.
Okay.
Just look at these. I was going to say all that Bama needs to do is worry about Trevor Etienne, but apparently Tennessee Tech and Kentucky were already worried about that.
Yeah. Georgia's game against Kentucky has, I think, a lot of people scared.
I feel like and they're gonna.
But they've struggled the last 3 years up there.
And I feel like
Last 3 trips, I should say.
This is gonna be a very close game.
Oh yeah,
Like,
and I think it's going to be low scoring.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think 17-14. I think 20-17.
I don't think so. I think it's gonna be a shootout. Personally, I
Give
think
me.
it's gonna be a shootout.
It's going to be a great game. You better watch it 7:30 on ABC.
This is why you get rid of divisions in your
Right,
conferences.
right,
'Cause
and that
have
way you
these
can
games.
just stack the schedule.
Tell somebody from 5 years ago that this would be a regular season matchup.
All right, now give me this too. If you're getting your honeydew list together, you're getting it completed, you're going apple picking, go ahead and do that. Maybe check your phone. You do have some ranked games early in the day. Check your phone if you're going apple picking, pictures, whatever with the fam. But you better be in front of the TV at 7:30 because you're going to see some hard hitting action.
Look, you got Oklahoma State, Kansas State at 12.
Yep, that's a 11
And then you
a.m.
have
kick
the
local.
You have the 3:30 game of Louisville Notre Dame,
Yep.
which is a ranked versus ranked matchup. Then you have Illinois Penn State at 7:30, and then on NBC,
And
you
they got
can split screen it with
2
Alabama.
TVs. Yep,
Two
you better
TVs.
either split screen or 2 TVs. Give me Bama. Give me an outright win for the Tide. Roll, Tide, roll.
And then for
Saturday night in
For the
Tuscaloosa.
late folks, you got Washington State, Boise State at 10.
Yep.
On FS1, and then you got Oregon going into the Rose Bowl, which
At
is
11?
at 11.
11.
And on Fox, which is also we know this. That is not an easy place to go into.
No, it's not. And
UCLA.
UCLA started
When they
finding
are
some things on
unranked-
offense.
When they are unranked and find things on offense, it's a scary place.
Give me Bama outright.
Okay, Bama outright. Wow.
Yep,
I'm going to say
Bama
Bama
outright.
outright as well, because, I mean, it doesn't really change anything, but
Yep.
I think.
So we got 3 picks.
It's
different.
It's pretty much going to be an outright because there's no. I mean, unless.
I heard something on the podcast this week, Eli.
Okay.
When Jalen Milroe escapes the pocket, he goes right.
Okay.
Okay? He is looking to go right if he has to escape.
Okay.
All right? If they can force him left, he then
Has to flip his hips back.
has to flip, and he struggles finding receivers down the field. Obviously, because he's right-handed.
Yes.
Okay? But can Georgia force him to go left? All right, now go back real quick.
Because, I mean, obviously Western Kentucky, USF, and Wisconsin have all seen the exact same thing that he just said.
Right.
But they weren't able to do that.
Correct.
Because you could look at the stats.
Correct.
But Georgia's one of those teams that they are actually able to do that. You saw it against Clemson. They kept Cade Klubnik in the pocket almost the whole time and just converged on him.
Correct.
So
Is Milroe the leading rusher for Alabama too?
he is,
Because that's the leading rusher.
I get, or
Yeah, who's the leading rusher right there?
Miller.
Oh, okay. How many yards
29
does he have?
carries, 265. But if you go to the stats,
How many does Milroe have?
Go to the stats. Hold up, give me a sec. Bama,
Click on Bama.
statistics.
Where's Milroe at? He's got to be
I think
close.
he's top 3. Let me look.
He's got to be close.
He is 3rd.
Third with how many?
156.
156.
And then the backup has 160.
And think about it. He didn't play much of the Western Kentucky game. He didn't play much of the
USF
Wisconsin game or USF.
Yeah,
And
so-
well, he played in the fourth quarter because they were only up 14-13.
Ryan Williams has 285 yards, by the way.
All right. Yeah. Give me Bama. I think that.
And 4 touchdowns.
I think Kirby Smart still has something inside of his head with that logo. I know it. People preached it was Saban, but I think he's got something inside of that logo. Huh?
They have a linebacker named Justin Jefferson.
Okay. All right. Let's move
All
on
right,
to
okay,
the.
anyway.
Let's move on to the blind draw. We can look at their roster
Let me do
again.
mine first.
Okay.
And
All
then-
right.
so-
Let's move through this quickly so we can get these people in and out of here.
My bad, I got sidetracked.
No, you're good, man.
I had to.
You're good.
Where did I put my budget?
It should be right in front of the page
Oh,
before.
right for it. Okay,
Yep.
got it.
All right. Here we go.
Here we go. First one and this is going to be a lot of over-under, folks. And
Okay.
This is one of my first ones of doing over-under. I think every single one has over-under. Okay. Does the over-under of 47.5 hit in the UMass or Miami of Ohio game? I worded it very wrong. So just say over-under. 47.5. in
Between UMass and Miami of Ohio.
Yes. I need to look at this.
Okay. UMass scored a ton of points against Central Connecticut State last week.
This is from Connecticut State.
Who has Miami of Ohio played? Can you look up that real quick?
Yes, if I can.
I can pull it up too.
I got you. I got you right here. Okay. Miami of Ohio has played Northwestern, lost 13-6.
Okay.
Cincinnati lost 27-16.
Yep.
And then they lost to Notre Dame 28-3.
Okay, so they haven't scored very many points.
And then UMass has
The most points they've scored are 16 points.
UMass
It's
beat
homecoming. It's Hall of Fame night at Miami of Ohio.
and then UMass has beat Central Connecticut State University 35-31 by 4 points.
Yep.
Buffalo, they lost 34-3. Toledo, they lost 38-23. And then
You said 47 and a half?
47
Over.
and a half.
Give me the over.
Okay.
I think both teams find something against each other because both teams are terrible.
Okay. Does UCF cover the spread against Colorado? UCF is favored by 14 points.
Ooh, KJ Jefferson's going to have a field day with that defense. It's in Orlando, correct?
Confirming.
I think it's in Orlando. I think it's at the Bounce House. If that's the case, then yes, they are going to cover. Shador, I think it's going to be a boat race, but I think KJ and that offense that Malzahn runs is probably licking their chops to go up against Colorado's defense, even if they have Warren Sapp and Deion Sanders. Look for Travis Hunter to have a pretty good day, though, offensively and defensively. That game is in Orlando, I believe.
It is.
Okay, give me the Knights to cover. Yep,
Yes,
lay the points.
Okay. Over under 63.5 Liberty and App State.
Liberty and App State. App State
It
has
is in App State.
given up a ton of points. I mean, they gave up a ton of points to South Alabama last week. And so, yes, 63 and a half, absolutely. Over. Bang the over.
I wrote it.
Smash it.
I wrote it wrong on here actually twice. I wrote it wrong here. I wrote 38.5 originally and then 36.5, but it is actually 34.5 over under for Air Force and Wyoming. 34.5.
Over under points.
Over under points. Oh, so look at that.
Yeah.
Jeez. Split that.
Yeah. Liberty's undefeated too. Give me, let's go. How many? 34 and a half?
34.5.
34 and a half. That's low. Gosh, that's low.
It's the lowest on the whole
That is so low. Give me, I'm going to go over there as well. It's in the high altitude. Is it at Wyoming? I mean, both of them are high altitude. What am I thinking?
Air Forces, yeah. It is at Wyoming.
At Wyoming?
At night.
At night? Yeah, give me the over there. That's
35.
too little, man. Like, if it's, watch, it's going to be a 10-6 game.
That is the lowest one. The second lowest one is Michigan versus Minnesota, 35.5.
Wow, that's terrible.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, and the final one, Ashton GNT over.
This is why I didn't ask that question. Go ahead.
What were you gonna ask?
I was going to ask how many rush yards you think he was going to get.
Over under receiving yards.
Receiving yards
10.5.
against Washington State.
10.5. He has 12 on the year,
He's got 12 receiving yards,
and he's hit his over under for all 3 games.
but his over-under is
It was like
80%, 90% of his total yards. He's got 12 right now.
he has 12 total all the year.
And you're asking me if he's
they
going to
played
get
3
10
games.
and a half.
And I'm asking if he gets 10.5 receiving yards.
Give me the over. I'm going over on all of them.
Okay.
Did I go over on all of them?
Yeah,
I did, besides the spread.
Because it
Give me
was
the
the spread.
over. That probably won't hit, but I'm going to take a chance on all of them.
Take your time.
There we go, folks.
I really doubt that, like, because
Watch out for KJ Jefferson to have a heck of a day.
look, he went and
Eli, this is crazy. Remember, we don't look at these. We have no idea. Okay? All right, Eli, Washington Rutgers over under 45 and a half points.
Washington Rutgers under.
Under?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Moving right along. Indiana -7 versus Maryland. Indiana's undefeated.
7 against Maryland. Give me Indiana.
Indiana, lay the points.
Yeah, Ashton GNT has 12 yards for 5 receptions, which is a 2.4 reception average, and he has 0 touchdowns. His longest gain was 8 yards.
All right. Both these teams are 3-1, Eli. Boston College quarterback Castellanos
Yeah, Castellanos.
Total yards over under 310 versus Western Kentucky.
Give me the over.
Over?
I think he'll probably play about 3-ish, maybe
Okay.
3.5 quarters. They'll probably play around with him for like a quarter. So
Yeah.
he'll have to play a little bit more.
Okay.
Than normal, but yeah.
All right. Now, both of these teams are 3-1 as well, which is kind of shocking if you go back and look at some of the preseason. Arkansas, Texas A&M in Jerry World, rush yards between the quarterbacks,
So Wegman
or Reed.
okay, so between the both of them.
Yep. And the quarterback at Arkansas, who is the
Wait.
6'6" guy.
Wait.
Reed is the backup for Wegman if Wegman's hurt.
Oh, okay.
Combined 175 rushing yards by the quarterbacks. So any of the quarterbacks.
Let's say under.
Under?
Right.
Okay. Now, this is crazy that you asked me that question about UCF and Colorado. Over under is 63.5 points. Colorado has 67 rushing yards in my research. As a team, they have 67 rushing yards this year. It's all Shador.
Yeah, it's Shador.
It's all now. A lot of that is coming off of sacks because they don't do it like the NFL.
Yeah, I don't know why college does that. It'd be messing up my stats in NCAA. I mean, I look at it, it's just like 200 passing yards and
Yeah.
negative 95 rushing yards because I've taken 8 sacks. I don't know what's going on.
All right,
But
63.5 points. Over under.
I'm going to go over. I think that's one of the games where it can go into overtime. Bounce house will get loud, or who knows.
Okay.
Maybe they'll beat them.
All right, folks.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's week 5 right there. You have it. I'm up by 2 points on Eli. I'm 14-6 against the spread. He's 12-8. Not bad. 65% and over 50%. Not bad for a bunch of guys that love to just talk college football
And really don't know most of our stuff. Or at least I don't know most of our stuff.
I listen to way too much stuff about college football, so
He listens
I
to a
don't
lot
have an
of
excuse.
podcasts. I watch too much TikTok.
Yeah,
That's pretty much
but
it.
he learns a lot of his stuff from TikTok about college football.
Yeah.
So, folks, there you have it. Social media generation
and we got
versus the generation that does research.
And we got 2 winning records against the spread.
And we got 2 winning records. But we know in this business that can come to a halt very quickly. But 5 games against the spread, 5 blind draws. We appreciate you joining us. Good luck. Good luck to you, sir.
Good luck to you, sir.
Yeah, man.
I need to stop doing that until I come back.
Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good one. Enjoy the games.
Peace out.
Get that apple picking done.